Hello there, it's Sarah from Paper Lovely. Thanks for joining me today. I am back with part 2 of my 10 cards 1 kit using the Heidi Swapp Honey and Spice collection. If you missed the first 5 cards, you can check those out in the video that I posted yesterday. For now, I'm going to go ahead and hop right into card number 6. I have taken this striped pattern paper and trimmed that down to 4 by 5 1/4. And I pulled in again some of the ephemera here. I'm going to end up switching out this tag. I wanted a little bit more of a contrast between my white stripes and that Kraft color. So I'm going to lay this out and get everything positioned the way that I would like it. And then I will start putting everything into place. And I'm just looking around, I'm thinking I want to add one more sentiment. I am going to end up going with that sticker as well, but I'll wait until I get things into position there. I have gone ahead and pulled in a card base. This is made from Paper Tray Ink Americana cardstock. I'm going to add some glue here behind my tag and get that down. And then just making sure I have my angle the correct way that I would like it. I'll add some glue behind that typewriter and press that into place. I'm gonna pop up this "You Are So Great" sentiment using some 1/4" foam tape. And I'll place that down. Then I'll finish up the front here with this "Be Brave" sticker. I'll add some ATG to the back of that panel and place that on top of my card base. Then here for the inside, I'm on a Nina panel trimmed to 4 by 5 1/4. I've grabbed this sentiment that reads "Every Day," and I'm going to stamp that out using my Close to My Heart black ink. Now you'll see that I stamped this a few times. For some reason, there's a little glitch on my stamp and it doesn't want to do the top or sort of front portion of the D in day. I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well here, but in a second I'll show you how I fixed that. There I'm checking and wondering why that one little section won't stamp for me. So I just grabbed one of my pens and went in and just sort of did that little curve myself, and you cannot tell at all that it didn't stamp that way or that the marker is any different. So that's just a little tip if you're having trouble or if one of your stamps has a little line or something in it. I did also grab this orange heart, that's one of the cardstock stickers, place that down towards the bottom, added some ATG to the back of my panel, and I'll place that here on the inside of my card base. And that will complete card number 6. For card number 7, I have trimmed down this really pretty maroon paper. It has a beautiful sort of line drawn peach flower to it. And of course that's 4 by 5 1/4. I've also grabbed some of the ephemera pieces here. This frame I'm going to pop up using some 1/4" foam tape. Then I'm going to get everything laid out in place again just to make sure that I have that where I want it. My card base here is made from MFT's Peach Bellini cardstock. And I'm just going to fuss around with this a bit until I get a layout that I'm happy with. And now I'll go ahead and press everything into place. So when I lay things out like this, I find the easiest way to keep them as close to how I had them is to sort of just place my fingers down and hold them and then lift up an edge, add some glue, and then I'll just continue to add glue until I've covered everything. I'll go ahead and peel away the backing on that frame and press that into place. Then for my bird, I'm going to add a little bit more foam tape behind him. And I'll do the same thing here for that Make Today Count circle, just to help try and keep everything as even as I can. Again, as I mentioned in the first video, I do just want to caution you if you're adding glue behind this vellum. I was thinking that adding the glue, because it was dark, it wasn't going to be an issue, but I didn't take into account that it is so much thinner than regular paper. So if you're going to add glue, I would add very, very tiny dots. This piece also gave me just a little bit of warping, but it was not to the extent of the problem that I'd had with the very first card. So this one turned out okay. Here again, I've grabbed one of these sticker sentiments and popped that up with some foam tape just on either edge of where that's going to hit the frame. Keep everything nice and even. For the inside, I'm again going to add one of these sentiment stickers. This one reads Carpe Diem. And for a little something different, I'm going to have that coming in off of the side of the card. And that will complete card number 7. Here for card number 8, I'm going to use a leftover strip of that floral pattern paper from my first card. I have trimmed off 2 pieces of that Tim Holtz rose gold foil. And I'm going to layer this down, just attaching that with some ATG. I have probably about 1/8 of an inch on either side of this pattern paper. And the pattern paper measures just about 3 inches. So we're looking at 3 1/4 total. I have a card base here made from Paper Tray Ink Prairie Grass. It matched the green in the leaves almost perfectly. I've added some ATG to the back of this. And I'm going to place this down directly on top of the card base. For my tag, I'm going to add some foam tape and get that popped up. And then I'm going to line this up at the top and center that right over top of my floral pattern paper. Lastly, I'm going to grab one of the sticker sentiments. This reads, What a Time to Be Alive, and I'll place that across the bottom here. For the inside, I'm on a Neenah panel trimmed to 4x5 1/4. I'm going to stamp out the sentiment Celebrate, again using that close to my heart black ink. I've grabbed an extra scrap of this really pretty pink paper. It has sort of a painted look to it. And I'm going to add that across the bottom of my panel. I'll add some ATG to the back and place that on the inside of my card base. And that will complete card number 8. For card number 9, I'm working on a card base made from MFT's cement gray cardstock. I've pulled in this tag, one of the vellum pieces. I really, really loved all of the vellum in this collection. And I'm going to layer these with these leaves, just sort of trying some different layouts here until I find something that I'm happy with. Gonna start out by placing down my leaves, just adding some art glitter glue there. And then I'll pull up this vellum piece, just adding a tiny bit of this off to the corner that's going to be covered by the tag. Just a very small dot there to keep that corner down. And then for my tag, I'm going to pop that up using some foam tape. Gonna add some ATG to the back of my panel and go ahead and get that placed down on top of my card base. And then I'll press my tag into place. I'll go ahead here and trim off the excess. And then lastly, I'm going to grab one of the sticker sentiments. This reads, "So many reasons to smile." And I'm going to add some 1/8 inch foam tape behind that to get that popped up as well. Finally, I felt like this needed just a little something extra, so I'm going to pull in more of those leftover enamel dots. This is from the Carta Fall Marketplace collection, and I'm going to add 3 of those to the front as well. For the inside, I'm again on a Neenah panel trimmed to 4x5 1/4. I'm going to stamp out that Celebrate sentiment, this time using some Lawn Fawn Peachy Keen ink. Then I pulled in another one of the pattern papers. I'm going to trim off just 1 row of these cameras here. I'll add some ATG to the back and place that along the bottom of my panel. And then I'll add some ATG to the back of my panel and place that on the inside of my card base. And that will complete card number 9. For card number 10, I've trimmed down this sort of a tile patterned paper. It's a very pretty yellow-orange color. Again, 2 4x5 1/4. And I'm going to place this on top of my card base. This is made from Paper Tray Ink Canyon Clay cardstock. I have one last leftover piece of this maroon floral pattern paper. I'm going to add some ATG and I'm going to line that up right along the edge, covering up that side of the panel. Trim off that excess. Then I'm going to grab this tag with the French Bulldog and again just trim off the top portion of that. I loved these bulldogs. I really wanted more stickers and more ephemera with them on it. I'm going to line this up here with this beautiful vellum piece. And once I'm happy with the placement, I'll get both of these attached down, adding some ATG there behind the tag. And then for the vellum, just some very tiny dots of art glitter glue. And I think the tiny dots are really the way to go. This one went down. It was the very last one I did, and probably the smallest dots of glue, and you can't tell that there's any glue underneath it. Again, grabbing some of these enamel dots, I'm going to add 3 of those, and that will finish up this card front. I'm going to keep the inside really simple here. I'm trimming off about a 1/2 inch piece of that same background cardstock. I'm going to add a stripe along the bottom of my Nina panel, add some ATG to the back, and place that on the inside of my card base. And that will complete card number 10. Here are a few close-ups of the finished cards. In the description box below, you'll find my blog post, which has additional photos and links to the supplies I used. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a comment or a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.